Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Hope you're having a great day so far. Really happy to share a little bit of it with you. And hopefully this few minutes that we'll spend together will be beneficial to you because we're going to be going over a brand new release. It is a Ralph Lauren fragrance. It is Ralph Lauren Ralph's Club Parfum, the new Parfum version of the decently popular Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum. So when we come back, I'm going to do a brief unboxing and give you my first impressions of this new release. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, and welcome to my unboxing and first impressions of Ralph Lauren's Ralph's Club Parfum. Now, before I do a note breakdown, let's do a brief unboxing and go over the presentation of Ralph's Club Parfum. Ralph's Club logo or monogram below the name. Says Ralph Lauren at the bottom, Parfum 3.4 fluid ounces, 100 ml bottle. On one side of the box is the QR code. On the very back of the box is an ingredients listing, some cautionary information. The UPC. On the other side of the box is a packaging sticker. On the very bottom of the box is some additional address information as well as the batch code. The bottle looks almost identical to the original Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum with a few key differences. The sleek flask is a product of years of craftsmanship with sharp masculine angles that are cool to the touch and striking black, matte, translucent glass. The gunmetal design features a unique hinge cap detailed with the iconic Ralph's Club monogram. You have the monogram also printed in silver white on the front of the bottle beneath the Ralph's Club, and it says Parfum on the very bottom as well. So I'm going to show you guys kind of a side-by-side comparison. This is the original Ralph's Club, and you can see the glass is shiny and translucent, although smoked looking. And you still have that translucent look, but it is a matte finish. So it absorbs the light, which is really actually a cool look when you see it close up. It almost looks like it's a frosted or etched kind of glass. I love the whole bottle style, the flask idea, and the monogram on the top and the monogram on the front. Now when you flip open the hinged cap on the inside, I was expecting the monogram to appear on the top of the atomizer, as some designer houses do, to kind of add some additional flair to the presentation, and that is not the case. Not really disappointed by that. It would have been a decent feature to add to the Parfum, but maybe they're saving that for the Le Parfum version, who knows. Really enjoyed the presentation. If we were grading it on a sliding scale, this would be A++. When the marketing materials say that it's sleek masculine angles, that is not just words. Flasks are steeped in historical tradition. There's a ton of information about flasks and their various uses, and I think it's a brilliant kind of a masterstroke to have a fragrance in a flask style bottle. Now, while it's not the first one to do so, it is the first of its kind to add kind of the Ralph Lauren flair to it. Now, to talk about the notes that make up Ralph's Club Parfum, it seems like there is a subset of people that felt like Ralph's Club, or that feel like Ralph's Club, is generic and boring. I feel like this fragrance is anything but that. And I think for those of you that may feel that way about the fragrance, give it another try, or Ralph's Club Parfum a try, and I will tell you why you want to give it a try. And while I'll tell you why that you want to let it breathe, and don't let your first experience with this be an indication of what you feel the quality is of the fragrance. When you're talking about a fragrance with a higher concentration of oils like a Parfum, you have to let it breathe. You have to allow time for it to open up. You've seen those time-lapse videos of flowers opening and closing. That's kind of like a fragrance with a higher concentration of oils. It's super necessary to allow time to get a real feel for what the fragrance is going to do, and that's the case with Ralph's Club Parfum. So what about the notes that make up the fragrance? This is categorized in the woody aromatic family of fragrances. Ralph's Club Parfum features a top of lavender, apple, and grapefruit, with a heart of clary sage, geranium, and orange Orange Blossom Absolute. Resting on a base of Virginia cedar wood, vetiver, patchouli, and cashmere. There you have it. So it's a true Parfum because it has all of the main ingredients that are in the original Eau de Parfum. Lavandin is quite simply a stronger lavender. It has more of a camphorous or camphoraceous body, so it's going to carry further. It's going to create a fantastic sillage trail. We've got lavender, apple, and grapefruit, creating an amazing open here. Fantastic introduction. So now that we know the notes that make up Ralph's Club Parfum, how does it act? What do I mean when I say that you have to let it breathe? Well, when you first spray this on, of course I showed you what it looks like spraying during the presentation, but I'm gonna spray it on my hand here. A good bit jets out in a single blast. You get just enough to spray on pulse points. And I highly recommend spraying this on pulse points. Pulse points, obviously anywhere where you can feel a heartbeat. This has to be one of the most creamy, smooth, soapy, clean, refreshing combination of these notes that we've talked about ever. And when you first spray this on, you may get a sense of bitter metallic, and that is the higher concentration of oils coming straight out the gate. And that's the lavandin. Because lavandin is in the top, you'll get a really heavy sense of almost medicinal camphor, but you have to let that breathe. You have to let that open up. Judging a fragrance by what you first smell is like judging a movie based on the first 5 minutes. Right? You haven't even gotten into the plot yet. So allow yourself time to get into the plot or the overall scent profile of Ralph's Club Parfum. Straight away, you can definitely get, again, that sense of that lavandin. You can also get a really crisp, realistic apple note, and I really enjoyed that about Ralph's Club Parfum. I love apple notes because they are there to balance out certain aspects of fragrant notes that can be a bit too much without some mediation. So apple note is kind of a mediator of the lavandin and the citrus in the grapefruit. Clary sage, geranium, and that orange blossom absolute merge together to kind of create a spicy handshake into the base of the fragrance. Now the base of Ralph's Club Parfum is also where it shines and where the creamy smoothness comes from. You've got the rich, dark, earthy tonality of vetiver and patchouli together, embraced by that Virginia cedar wood and cashmere. Now, if you know anything about cashmere is like an amalgamation of all of these different kind of almost textile notes. You've got smooth, creamy, warm, inviting. There's like leafy, acorn, woody. So it's kind of like a smooth, lighter, creamier wood, similar to sandalwood. I think sandalwood and cashmere have a lot in common. So that cedarwood, vetiver, patchouli, and cashmere combination in the base are creating almost a smooth, velvety, olfactive experience with Ralph's Club Parfum. It is literally one of the creamiest, smoothest, soapy, clean, very bright, silky almost. I think silky is a really good word. It makes sense because when you look at the overall design of the fragrance, they've perfectly captured the presentation in the fragrance itself. They've kind of embedded it into the DNA. And so when you smell this and you experience it, when it starts opening up, you get this very uber refined fragrance deportment, how it carries itself, how it comes off, how it comes across. It has this feeling of exclusiveness similar to the membership of a club. I think Ralph's Club starts making more sense in the body of the Parfum more than the Eau de Parfum, actually. While I do really appreciate the original and always will, it's taken everything that you like about the original, amped it up, and added and infused really kind of its own thing in the Parfum. I don't want to say this too early because again, I've not tested this out in terms of its performance. So far the sillage is excellent. It's really, really good. And again, I don't want to say too much without walking it through the paces and testing it out, but I feel like it's probably going to be one of the best releases of 2022, at least up there in the top 5, possibly top 3. If you're at all interested in purchasing Ralph's Club right now as a new release, about $140 for the 3.4 fluid ounce or 100 ml bottle. I think it's about $105 for the 50 ml. You can get it at Macy's, you can get it at Ulta. It does come in a very large 150 ml size, and I think it even comes in a smaller size There's like a 15 mil or 30 mil. I mean, there's tons of sizes. So you've got lots of choices to make in terms of the size that you want. Of course, the larger amount that you buy, the less per ounce price that you're paying overall, but just depends on your budget and what you want. I highly recommend getting a sample of this. At least try a sample. If you're unsure, if you're one of those that didn't really care for or thought that the original was boring or generic, it's a stretch to think that you might feel that way about the Parfum edition, because it is such a fantastically blended fragrance. Overall, I think if there were any negative aspects to the original, they've been refined out in the Parfum edition, because it is, again, I've had my nose on a lot of fragrances. This one is one of the best put together, you know, one of the best composed fragrances that I've smelled in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to putting it through its paces. Well guys, that's it for my brief unboxing and my first impressions of Ralph's Club Parfum. I think it is an amazing fragrance so far. If something would have to drastically change my opinion of that to change my opinion, but if it does, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. I'll let you know on the community page, and of course I'll let you know in my full-on review. Well, thanks so much for stopping by and tuning in to my unboxing and first impressions of Ralph's Club Parfum. Hope you have an awesome day today, and as always, thank you so much for supporting me on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.